Just give me a moment. I think YouTube it might be a little darker here because of the light, and I'm not using much light here. But it's okay, I think. Serves the purpose. Okay. Just give me a moment till I share this. Okay, greetings everyone. Just sharing this to the page. Okay, I'm done. So greetings everyone. Nice to see you all. Pranams everybody. So I think it has reached everyone. I think now just waiting. So in YouTube it might be a little bit darker because the lights I'm not using much here. Too much of glare. So it's okay. You'll still be able to hear it. I think it still serves the purpose. So today I said let me talk about a few obstacles that we have again and again in our lives on this path, the path of light and truth. There are these obstacles that will keep popping to you again and again. And one of the biggest obstacle is what I want to just discuss today. They are not obstacles from outside, but we are our own obstacles. So it's nice if you are consistent on these platforms. If you're consistent, what happens is you are constantly updated with yourself. It shows your perseverance. Somebody asked Bhagwan Ramana once, what is the sign of spiritual progress? Ramana said two things, two versions. Because what Ramana said, only he knows and God knows. Rest all we know only through translators and people who brought those information out. How they recorded it, how they interpreted it. So I've been very closely studying all the people who are interpreting Ramana also. And his teachings, his books. I find sometimes that it's not matching somewhere. Some minute things are not. What one commentary says, the other is not. Because I feel it's their interpretation. So if one person says something, other person says something, and I am thinking something, then we have three opinions. So what is right on the journey will relate to you in your own manner. What's the best thing? So I would best suggest is that you should not have interpreters, and that is one reason even I am little skeptic about interpreting anything. Because even if I interpret, it is my interpretation. We do not know how much it will relate to your life. So that becomes very, very important. That you develop slowly, eventually, the habit of becoming aware of all the truths yourself. Sooner or later, you have to do it, okay? You're not going to have all the time people around you to update you, to guide you, to show you the way. You become handicapped then. The whole focus on the path should be to become independent. Very, very important this is. Because we are all unconscious beings. Even in spirituality, we are very unconscious. So sometimes, if you don't take care of these things, I don't know if the music is a botheration. I was just listening to it. It is continuing. So on this path, you got to be alert. Alert is what I call awareness. So if you are aware being, you will be constantly noticing many things in your life also. One of the major thing that you got to notice is how dependent on are you. And this I'm telling you, mark my words, nobody will tell you. Nobody in spirituality is going to tell you this. Now I'm not claiming I'm the one who's telling it. But truth is truth, it has to be revealed. Nobody will tell you that you don't need me. You don't need that system, this system, this system, my system, your system. Everybody will tell I am the best for you. This is a habit, unconscious habit. Started from the time religions came in. Every religion will tell you I am the best. And you can see if you are also unconscious. See, the propagators of religions were unconscious. That's a different story. They propagated something that's saying that we are the best, I am the best. Now, if the followers also are unconscious, what else can happen? Because awakened followers will never follow systems. So, unki baat alag hai. That's a different thing altogether. But if somebody is following the systems and religions, it is because they are unconscious, unaware. No one can become followers if they are aware. You can only be followers when you are unaware. That includes me also. I mean, following me. So, very important is no, this is not the obstacle that we are talking about. But this can be one of your obstacles again. Very important is to keep this awareness of becoming free. What we are teaching here is freedom, inner freedom from anything that comes from outside. The whole thing is to slowly cut off all dependency from outside and become very independent. That's the whole spiritual path, what it is about, practical spirituality. Because no spirituality you are going to go in a group anywhere. We are talking about this, we are speaking, we are singing these songs, everybody goes alone. So even if your near and dear ones are not going to be there, your near and dear possessions are not going to be there, it is very obvious that your group and communities and your population also is not going to be there. Your systems also are not going to be there. How different are the systems than your possessions? Systems also are as good as your possessions. So this awareness must constantly be, that is, if you want to liberate. If you want freedom from all this, if you just want to do a time pass in spirituality, that's all another story. That's already happening. I'm talking very serious stuff. Serious doesn't mean we become serious. No, serious means the importance, the priority of this truth. That is what I meant by serious. One can never become serious on this path. Because the more you become free, the more you will be cheerful. The more you will be free, independent. And all your troubles comes from bondages. All our griefs and all our complaints, All our hankerings comes only from bondages. That includes your family bondage, your worldly bondage, anything, system bondage. So if you are sincerely seeking salvation, salvation means inner freedom first while you are living. While living itself, you become free. Free means what? Your happiness is not dependent on any external source. That is the first step to freedom. If you can become free this way, only you can free your ego, and the soul will attain liberation. That is the second step. What is self realization? What is moksha, mukti, and all this? If you see, it is mukti from the ego. The soul is just wanting freedom from the ego consciousness. That's all. But that is secondary. Before that, you must become free from all the external bondages and clutches that is holding on to you. That is the first step we must understand. Without this first step, you cannot directly jump into the second mithya. Nobody will tell you this. Because if the first focus is given, then what you are going to do? The one who's giving the advice only you are going to eventually get rid of, which nobody will want. So nobody will talk to you on the first aspect. That you got to get rid of all external dependency. All the systems that I look at, I have never seen anybody talking this. But eventually you have got to get rid of me also. My theories, my philosophies, my systems, my decorations. Everything has to go. So until you understand the simple funda and the milestones of this life, it is confusion. I'm telling you everything step by step. Now, today, what I'm talking is just a simple, practical way of the ultimate truth that I have seen in many ways. Okay, I'm just not just talking about it. I've investigated this in my own life. I've investigated many other saints. I've investigated many paths. I've investigated scriptures. I've correlated everything very well. And when I'm very apt on it, is only when I'm speaking about it. I'm just not making some talks. These things were there in my mind before also. But only thing is, I was not sure. I was thinking maybe it's a feeling. But when scriptures started coming into my hand, when I saw many Mahapurushas talking about the same thing, and when in Tiruvannamalai also I started learning all these things, I came to, there was a conviction, yes. And it was a very strong conviction now, because first it happened from within, and then something from outside came and confirmed my thoughts. So from there is where I am speaking about that to attain that final realization, you have to first attain freedom from your own self. Own self means your mind and the clutches that your mind is having. Who does the mind get involved with? Mind always gets involved with outer things. Simple. Ramana beautifully used to say, mind just catches forms. काम मन का क्या है? Simple way if you want to understand the mind. Mind catches forms. The habit, the passion and hobby of the mind is to catch form. That's all. It will just grasp the form. You see, when you open your eyes in the morning, the first form you look out is your house, your bed, or maybe your own body. That is the first thing it will catch. The first is always the body only. When you wake up, you become aware suddenly, I have woken up. The false I, has woken up. The moment you become aware of, I have woken up, you, the mother, you, the father, you, the husband, you, the wife, you, the child, you, the employee, you, the employer, you, the citizen, you, the politician, you, the everything, you, the student, you, the teacher, suddenly becomes awake. Why? First, it has got a form of your body identity. And that immediately after that, all in a fraction of second, you will start relating with this work, that work. And suddenly, I'm a son, I'm a teacher, I'm a this. All the things start flowing into your mind. First, what happened? It has got a form. The habit of the mind is this, catching forms. And after you wake, you see, till you sleep, mind is only grasping forms outside. Whatever you see, you're grasping. Whatever you hear, you're grasping. Whatever you smell, you're grasping. Whatever you taste, you're grasping. It's all grasping from outside. Form, form, form. The duality. You look at anything, you look at the calendar, and suddenly you have got the form. And all the structure related to calendar will come into your mind. Everything focused on the calendar, your dates, your holidays, your own appointments, your schedules, today's date, which month you are in, when are your holidays, what is your birth, what is somebody else's birth. Everything, a big thing only just opens up. You might not see this, but if you are an aware person, you will notice this. Just look at the calendar and so many things in a fraction of second it catches up. Same, you look at one book, everything will catch up in that. You look at one form, like I look at my cat now. So many memories and things associated. Everything will start. So you imagine every second, wherever you look, wherever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you smell, taste, touch, just grasping. Mind is grasping, and constantly billions of information is just exchanging there. Now, when I am talking so much on the practice of awareness, becoming aware, when you become aware, you know it very well. You are not in the mind. You have seen it. Whenever you are aware, there is no mind. Thoughts just disappear. Even your eyes cannot catch forms. Have you noticed this? Anytime in the state of awareness, your mind will cease to exist. Like, for example, if you are going in a peripheral vision, say now just become aware of all the things around you, people around you. Suddenly you have blurred everything out. You can't focus on one thing. Remember this. Everything is just blurred out and you are present everywhere. Your awareness is looking at everything at the same time. So it is impossible to catch the calendar, the cat, the book, the light, the colors, anything one at a time. If you are doing one at a time, know it very carefully that you are not in awareness. Mind is active. One at a time. If you are becoming aware right now, just become aware of your surroundings. Now you'll see there are a lot of things that you become aware of. That's all. It's a freezing moment. That's all. But now, if you just become aware of the chair, if you then become aware of the curtain, become aware of the floor, become aware of the roof, become aware of the light that is around you. Now you'll see when you're becoming aware one thing at a time, this is still in the mind. Okay, it's not gone into awareness. Like if I say become aware of your thumb, you're not fully expanded your awareness. It's just the start of it. But as you start from the thumb to the hand to the elbow and full hand and then full both hands and the chest, head, tummy, pelvic area, both the legs, and suddenly you are full aware. That is what I call the divine presence. Divine presence, one entity, all together, all awareness, all organs, everything comes into that. You're fully aware of your full internal, fully aware of your external, fully aware of how the clothes are touching you, and fully aware of how the air is touching you. Imagine. This is what I'm trying to this communicate to you. The practice, the right practice of awareness is, you begin with one, you master, you move your awareness, your heart, lungs, head, eyes, knees, all that you do, that is still ekagrita. You are focusing on one, still the mind is active there. It's not gone into awareness. But it begins with that, and then when you spread out, you become aware of your whole body, you have become aware of one entity. Still, it is not complete awareness. You throw your awareness outside into the room, now you are aware of the entity plus the room. You throw your awareness outside, now you are aware of your body, this entity, the room, and even the house, and then outside the house and the whole cosmos. When you are in that state completely, that is the most beautiful state of being aware of consciousness itself, being very conscious of. So that's a practice that we are doing. And you'll see, whenever you are expanding your awareness, your single pointedness will start dissolving. You started with the thumb. By the time you're in the whole body, the thumb thing is gone and you're full everywhere, including the thumb. Now it's only the body, inner body. When you throw it outside, it is now inner plus the outer body. When you throw it inside the room, now it is no more the body also. See, that is the state where many of you said, while I was teaching that activating your divine presence, living in your divine presence. There are many, but many told that after a certain stage of this step-by-step process, we had a bodiless experience. There is no body. Why? Till you are focused on the body, till you are in the thumb, you are body consciousness. You are body conscious. Till you are even expanded to all your organs, you are body conscious. The moment you start moving outside, body consciousness reduces. Go out into the room space, still reduces further. But you are there still. You go out. The more you expand, the less of I. The more of consciousness, the less of I. So this, we will enhance this again in the continued divine presence. I forgot the date, whichever date that is. I think this month and only. Both for English and Hindi, I've kept it so that we have a separate thing. It will be easy for people to explain in Hindi, and there was always a confusion. So one is on a Saturday and one is on a Sunday. There we will practice this. This is very important. This is the soul of the practice of awareness. Living in the presence. For that, you have to know the presence. So while you live around in the presence, you're still body conscious. That I'll reveal all those details in those sessions. You're still body conscious. I have not told all this in details. I just tell you about the practice. But I'm telling you, the basics are like this. So when you carry around yourself in this world, because you need to be bodily conscious, to do your work, you need to be conscious. You cannot lose your consciousness. You cannot become bodiless. Got it? So bodiless is the spiritual part of life. Body consciousness awareness is the worldly part of life. The worldly and spiritual both come there. But only thing is, whether worldly or spiritual, you are aware all the time. That's the catch. So even when you're moving around doing whatever work you're doing or whatever, you are an aware person. But you are bodily consciously aware person. But still you are in awareness, a part of awareness. Awareness means you are not in the mind. You are a person who's living less and less in the mind. There will be mind. Because to do the functions you need mind. But you are not completely a slave of your mind. Because when you are in awareness, your discrimination power is increasing. It will tell you what is right, what is wrong. So you can easily select between right and wrong. So that way you navigate your life very easily in the world without getting too much stuck in all the worldly dramas, this and that. And all. What is needed, that much you'll speak, that much you'll do. What is not needed, you'll pull back from there. So your worldly life also will go in peace. And whenever you feel now is your complete time to become completely spiritual, then wherever you sit, you go into this vast expansion, become bodiless. That's your spiritual zone. So in both stages, you are still aware. That's what the whole practice is all about. I've not read this in books. I've not read it. I don't know about this. This is the first time these things came to me in my life journey, which is what I'm sharing. If you want, go and investigate. You will not find these concepts, what I'm telling you anyway. Because this is coming from that inner consciousness. And if it is helping me, I thought, let it help everybody. So if the divine will be, let it help how much ever it can. And if you want to know it will help you or not, investigate, experiment, practice, experience, and then believe it. Don't just blindly think because I'm saying anything. No, practice it and see. Now the obstacles that I'm talking about in all this is, first obstacle is this kind. Not knowing what is the clarity. Here I'm giving the clarity, crystal clear clarity, that if you want complete freedom, or if you're moving towards that complete freedom, the first freedom that you need to have is from the external world, dependency on the external world. You should keep on becoming lesser and lesser dependent on the outside world. It can be anything that you name it, you do it how you want to do it. Lesser dependency on your children, on your parents, on your spouse, on your wealth, on your property, anything on your mind. Lesser and lesser dependent on food. It's also all there. All these things are external. Because the more you become external, that is more of the I body consciousness. That is what the major obstacle is. One second. So the more you become dependent on the external, for external world, understand you have to use your panchendriyas. And who uses the panchendriyas? The mind. Who uses the mind? Ego. See how the step by step function. Ego uses the mind to function. Mind uses the indriyas to function. And who allows the indriyas? You. The power of discrimination allows it. The viveka. You, the viveka. If your viveka is absent, everything is gone for a toss. Ego will use the mind to do its function and strengthen the ego, body consciousness, and the mind will use the panchendriyas. Now the viveka is not there, so directly it will use the panchendriyas. Panchendriyas means all the five indriyas, all the time outside. No discrimination, no ruler there, no one to tell you this is right or wrong. Khana dekha doda. Delicious food, run for it. Lal tapke. Very difficult spirituality, I'm telling you. Beware of glamour spirituality. Very, very, very dangerous this is, because glamour spirituality सब चलता है. ठूसो, ये भी करो, वो भी करो, सब मंजूर है. Life enjoy करो and become nice person. That's all. Becoming nice person is nothing but becoming a religious person, a believer, a fanatic. That's all that you're going to get. No mukti pukti कुछ नहीं है इसमें. Because even a nice person can have the worst kind of vasanas. Please remember this. सूट बूट में भी कोई फिर सकता है, अच्छी टोपी स्पिरिचुअलिटी की या बैंड स्पिरिचुअलिटी की भी लगा के घूम सकता है, but he can be completely drowned in his vasanas, whatever those vasanas. I am not saying that you will not have vasanas. You will have, and it will be challenging. All those things will be there, but there is nothing to fight. There is nothing to fight all these things. Please accept it as a very normal transition of life. The more you are not accepting this truth, you will try to fight it, you will become guilty, you will have self pity, you will feel like a victim, you will brood, you will lose your patience, you will lose the motivation, you will lose your inspiration, and then you will cling on to more things now. When you lose the motivation, that is another fear from inside. कि पकड़ छूट रही है, अध्यात्म से छूट रही है, my purpose I'm losing. That's enough to make you guilty. So it's a conflicting, painful situation where you're giving up on one side and the other side you're clinging and trying to catch on to something so that you don't drown. Because somewhere your awareness, your conscience will tell you you're drowning. Now, why are you drowning? Because of this faulty thinking that I need to be a perfect person. This is today's topic. The biggest obstacle in your spiritual path is this feeling of becoming perfect right now, here and now. I repeat, today's topic that came to my mind as the biggest obstacle in your spiritual journey is this point: the feeling of being perfect right here, right now. After what? After doing one or two practices. Whatever you do, whichever path you have taken, whichever religion you have taken, whichever book you have taken, whatever method, technique you have taken. मैंने उठाया वो बुक को, पढ़ा, थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस किया, and then I go, अरे ये, I'm still having this problem, I'm still having that problem. My mind is still running here and there. My attachments are still there. My greed is still there. My vasanas are still there. What do I do? Read another book. See another technique. Read another quote. Catch another person. See another videos. Attend 10 different programs. Why this is coming? A desperation to become perfect here and now. Right now, I want to be perfect. The feeling of dirtiness. This feeling of I'm impure. We had this Belgaum satsang here, and I had gone here. There was a lady who was telling me, I have this feeling, please help me. I said, what? This feeling that, I'm not pure. I've always felt this. I'm not good enough. I asked her a few questions and I came to know it's coming from her childhood, because somebody must have put in her mind that you are good for nothing. And she felt all her life good for nothing. And now in spirituality, when she has come, she feels here also good for nothing. When I asked her a few points, she said, oh, I have still this problem. I still have this weakness. I still have this. I am following spiritual path for this and this time. I said, look at your pattern first. What you do? What do you do if you have weaknesses? You will never act on it. This is complete ego consciousness, dear ones. Please let me blow it on your face. If you think this is something else, it is nothing else. Ego is at its peak. Because ego wants to become perfect. We must have enough humility to understand that from many janmas we are coming here. We're not coming here for 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 months. You must have begun the practice few years, like she was telling. Been practicing spirituality for so much time, but I have these problems. I still have this. Yes, you should not have, or it should decrease. That's another thing. But I'll tell you why it is not decreasing also, I told her. Because every time what happens? Every time this thought comes to your mind, there is a conflict. Oh, I'm not enough, I'm not good, this is there, that is there, weakness is there, badness is there. And then what do you do after that? I was trying to point out to the pattern that she's not aware of. What do you do there? What do I do? Think and find out. What do you do immediately after that? Oh, I feel demotivated. हाँ, हो गया. फिर आगे की काम क्या बनेगी? What work can be done after that? Once you become demotivated and you sit down, gloomy and grumpy, gloomy and grumpy, all the work is stopped. And now your mind has enough excuse. The work is stopped. Why I'm demotivated? Why I'm demotivated? Because I am not good. So it's a common thing for you. Even when you stop and when you are not able to do, you have been always self-pitying all your life. I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person. This is not happening. That is not happening. I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to do that. I'm not worthy enough. All the time. And then when you go into that gloom, and when life demotivates you and you say, I'm not motivated enough, I can't do anything about it. This also is same victimized feeling. I can't do anything now. I'm demotivated. I've lost it again. Bus, same pattern has come back again. There is nothing there to assure you and get you out of that loop. So every time this has happened for all these years, you have sat just around thinking that I am not good for anything. Then when you feel little good, you'll go and do something. Then when you don't find yourself perfect, you'll sit blank. Very deadly pattern of the ego consciousness. I want you all to become completely aware if you have this kind of a pattern. The pattern of wanting to become perfect right now. These are the same people who do one or two awareness practice and they will tell me, oh, the mind is still there. What do you mean? You mean you do a awareness practice and stay with Manolaya for half an hour and then you expect your mind to disappear? Practical spirituality, dear ones. Be very practical. Please understand all these things in clarity. Don't put assumptions and beliefs that you have brought from somewhere else. Throw all those beliefs in the dustbin. Become an investigator. Investigate life completely. Don't just run on some belief patterns. Who asked you to become perfect? And who is promising you that you'll become perfect here once you do this? I am not perfect. I know it, and I have no problem in being imperfect. I mean it. I don't say that all my things are gone, and I don't want to presume anything. I don't want to live in a pretension, nor I do want to pretend to the public and tell them I'm a perfect person here. No, I'm telling you, no, I'm a seeker. I have my own imperfections and flaws. I've told this multiple times, and I have no problem in it. Why? Why I don't feel ashamed of talking about it? Because I have no problem in it. You should also become that way. Only when there is a problem with it that I will go into even self-denial. I will deny even my own stuff. I'm in no hurry. I mean it. Why I'm not worried about my imperfections? I'll tell you some practical things. Because all these years I've been imperfect, decades, but every changing decade and every changing year and every changing month and every changing week and every changing day, I'm seeing changes. I've been seeing the imperfection go out one by one, which I believed once upon a time, this is so hard to go, and I don't know whether this will go, whether I will ever change in this. Today, when I look back, those things are not there. And they have been very hard kind of stuff, which I never imagined would go. So when the path is dissolving it on its own, I have enough conviction that whatever other flaws and imperfections are there, that is eventually getting rid, and that's what we call the journey. The path and the journey means you have a journey to carry. It's not that you one day you get up and you are full josh and then everything life is full enlightened and very fantastic, and the next day you are all gone. That means you had only one day journey. Or if you are in bliss for 1 hour, then your journey is only 1 hour. Is that true? No. Your whole age, your prarabdha of this lifetime is your journey. So you have that time stipulated when all these things will unwind and unfold for you. So when I have seen that, and I don't care about it, talking about it, I don't care if you follow me, if you listen to me, or how can we listen to a imperfect person? How can we learn from an imperfect? Don't learn. I have no issues. I'm told I'm not here to make followers. So I'm very crystal clear about it, and I'm very free. I feel very liberated living this way, not being dependent on anybody, anything, even these so-called platforms or anything. That is not my dependency. Why I'm telling you this? You should also make it a habit in your life that when it comes to dependency, make sure you are ruthless. Now, when I say that every phase of life has shown me improvements and I know things are going to improve, I am talking about confidence, okay, not overconfidence. There is a confidence, it will happen, not overconfidence. Overconfidence is arrogance. हो जाएगा. And then I do my own nonsense. I don't mean from that angle. An aware person will never say that way. People who are practicing awareness are complete because awareness will just catch all your nonsense. Any nonsense the mind wants to convey, it will immediately catch and show you. So I have found my awareness, from my awareness I cannot escape. It's like I have built a robot, artificial intelligence, and now that artificial intelligence is controlling me. Not the right example, but just like that. Now I have no options. So it's like you activate your awareness which is there, and then you have no options. अपना किया करतूत बोल सकते हो. It's my own doing. Just for the sake of discussion, I'm telling you. Okay. It's not the truth, but just for our level of the lower level of our ego consciousness, you can see the conversation on that level. That artificial intelligence I'm saying, or अपना ही किया धर्म बोल रहे हैं, my own doing. So what I'm trying to tell you is, okay, I activated my awareness. I wanted to become spiritual. I did it. Now the fruit of it is I cannot be spared. And not only me, even you can't help it. You can't regress. You can't go back. Try how much you can. Once you have activated, you're activated and you're on the path and you're moving only ahead. Even if you feel you're not, maybe temporarily, but you're always moving ahead. Urdhagami. Nobody can help us. In Kali Yuga, if you try to fight, no, I'm going to be in Kali Yuga. I don't want to go. I will take janmas and come and be like a dust, an evil person all the time. I love being evil. So I'll take many janmas, but I'll come here only. It's not possible. There is a progression that's happening even in the evil. It is a cycle which you can't escape, and you are in that vicious cycle. You are helpless. Mark my words, you are helpless. Very deep this is. Again, the backbone of what I'm speaking is Upadesha Sara. When you have no escape from the cycles only, you don't choose, that means. There is no choice. If there was choice, then you could have been only in one cycle forever. Kali Yuga, one stage. But you have no choice. You're not noticing that you have no choice. Why? The human ego. I am the creator. I want to create everything. All good, but it has its limitation. You cannot create everything, my dear. Try how much you want. The best of humans have tried to create. You can't. After a certain level, you have to give up. Because there is a creator more powerful than this little creator in me. कोई तो है जो निज़ामे हस्ती चला रहा है. Somebody is there. Something is there that is running the whole scene. So if I'm telling you, you have no choice in this Kali Yuga. Do you have choice in the day and night? Forget Kali Yuga. Can you say that, no, I love the day, I don't want night? Or I love to sleep, only night I want. Today I decide, I'm the creator, I'm going to create that, I'm going to sleep forever here only. Is that going to happen? You have no choice. Your creation has limitations. You can create all the tuch cheezeं, chota mota. एक घर बांध लिया, ये कर लिया, वो. There also your creation is not complete. Because what you create, you don't own, you cannot own forever. You can create, but the only condition here, as the creator, you the creator, is you have to leave it behind. Funny part. You create, but you can't take it anywhere with you. Oh, you don't think of that, and वो तो सोचा ही नहीं हमने. हमारा ego consciousness, our ego consciousness, so hey, success, found success. The whole propaganda about this systems based on success to give you success in life. कौन सा सक्सेस भाई? सक्सेस मीन्स इट शुड बी ऑल द टाइम विथ यू. आज जो हाथ पे है, हाथ में आपका, कल जो नहीं उसको सक्सेस थोड़ी बोलते हैं. What you have success today in hand and tomorrow you don't have, is that success? It is not success. It is just a bragging for the moment, that's all. Bragging for today, maybe tomorrow or another 10 years, or maybe maximum one lifetime bragging. Then it's gone. So success also is not permanent. None of your creation is permanent. And still I believe I create a lot of things here. The ego creates and the ego enjoys for the limited time. Soul never falls into this bracket. Because the soul knows it is internal. The soul knows it cannot create anything. It is being created and it is just in the loop of that creation, helplessly. That is what exactly Upadesha Saram is talking about. Please let me know if you are interested about Upadesha Saram. Because I am little skeptic. If I keep that, I don't know how many of you will be really interested. I know times are changing, but it's not, the times are not like before. I can see so much of seriousness everywhere in the spiritual realm. So I'm openly asking you, if you are interested in Upadesha Saram, we can have it on one Sunday. But you'll have to sit for 5 to 6 hours. All this in detail, what we are talking right now, how the whole thing functions, the whole cosmos, who's the creator, how these things run, and what happens on the journey, where you are as a spiritual seeker, where it begins and where it ends. So everything in detail is there, progression. Yes, you can say here comments, or you can put to me on WhatsApp, or you can put it to me on direct messenger or email shiftingintoawareness@gmail.com. So if there is enough interest that I can see, then accordingly I'll put it in that. These are very serious scriptures, but it comes only for ripe souls. Why? Who are ripe souls? Ripe souls means who's done with this world enough, that me and my creation. Once they come to know me and my creation का limitation है, इसमें कुछ दम नहीं है. It is just only to keep my ego boasted. Nothing else left. And all that I create is bringing me pain. Today or tomorrow, it will surely bring me. Today it is bringing me pleasure, but the same thing will bring me pain. That is Dvaita. चलती चाकी देख कर दिया कबीरा रोय. चलती चाकी, चक्की में जो पिसना है वो पिसेगा ही पिसेगा. तो अभी के लिए मजा है, बट थोड़े समय के बाद सजा है. So the pleasure will turn into pain one or the other day, sooner or later, and that is what is called duality. Once a soul, a seeker realizes this, then a certain kind of deep seeking, what nonsense, where am I stuck in? How long am I going to get in this same stuff? How many more lifetimes I come and get into this suffering and get nothing? I'm fooled by this life. When that thing comes, then the soul looks into something like Atma Vichara, Upadesha Saram, deeper scriptures, deeper knowing, want to know more. Now what after this? When you're done with the nonsense of my creations, then you understand there is something that is more powerful than me. My ego is so less, nothing, not even a speck of dust in front of that. But still, how much my life is centered all around me. Morning I wake up, I think the whole life is made for me. My whole house, my whole family is for me. I go out, I feel my whole office is for me. I go out on the road, drive on the road, I feel the whole road belongs to me. You see, wherever you go, that you feel it is revolving. You stand in a bus and you feel the whole world is revolving around you. Everybody should give you attention, give you respect, give you space. And anything that doesn't go in this alignment, you lose your mind, because you feel the world is for me. Just sleep in awareness and see, you actually feel that the sun also rises for you. You feel sun rises for you, sun is setting for you. It's very strange. I'm telling you, the ego consciousness, you will get a jolt. You feel everything is meant to be for me. You feel the government is for me. The government should function for me. He should make road for me. He should give me all the provisions, he or she, the governments. You feel the religion is made for you. You think spirituality is made for you. You feel even the guru is made for you. Gurus come for you. It's a strange feeling, but it's a wrong feeling. This is what is called mithya. This is what is called maya, the mind, the illusions of the mind. And I will not talk anything that will strengthen this ego consciousness. When I say you, that ego of that I want to create this and that, my success, my glory, you will get caught up in it. I'm telling you, you are running in the other direction. Even if you are in the so-called spirituality, be very careful where you on this. I don't catch this nonsense. I call it nonsense only, because after a certain point you will come to know that we are even talking all these things in unawareness. We don't even know what we are doing in the name of spirituality. And we talk about moksha, self-realization, and everything that we are doing day and night, morning to evening, is in the opposite direction. Here we say, make your desires, make yourself powerful in this manner, boost your ego in this manner, and then you say, I will attain self-realization. Two opposite direction. Very weird, very strange. And I don't know how people don't notice it. Even if I'm single in this and nobody agrees with me also, I'll still affirm in this. I have no doubt in this. That is why I'm not part of any herd. I don't want to be also. And my work is this. What I'm realizing, I'm just putting it out. If anybody wants to catch it for your own good. If you are still insecure and if you feel the world is only given to give you security, Or this mithya world only is going to be your savior forever. Hold on to it. Sooner or later you'll realize it. That's not the truth. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, around 10 people have said here only Updesh Sara. I think we can go ahead with it. More will just join in that. But you'll have to keep yourself out completely, because I do this in the retreat. Retreat means there is no escape. That I put that video of Anubhavananda Swami. Okay, here also there are some people in YouTube. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 3 people here again. Oh, Ruby, you are there. YouTube, okay. Mayrakshi, Ronak, Nirlakanti, okay. Rohan Shirke asks, should be away from chaos to avoid any obstacles. I mean, we can do only sadhana away from all, maybe in a jungle or Himalayas. Yeah, definitely. Go and try it. Go and try it. Himalayas at least, definitely go and try it. The whole purpose of your spiritual enlightenment is to be where you are and practice it. Ramana was once asked about these kind of things, and Ramana said, if you cannot do this practice being in the battlefield, then it is impossible for you to do the same practice in the Himalayas. Exact words he said, Ramana. If you cannot do this practice in the battlefield, it is impossible for you to do the same practice in the Himalayas. Now you say. Because, yeah, Chaitanya. Okay. Here only we got around 15, 16 people interested in Upadesara. We'll do it. Surely we'll do it. Because where there is a need, we will definitely do that. So I think 16th, one day we have empty. On Sunday, I have nothing. My calendar is showing empty there. 16th, we can do it. 16th morning, we can begin 6 a.m. And by 11 or 12 o'clock, we can finish it up. Or 7 to 12 or 1 o'clock. I think this should work for everybody. I'm talking about IST, Indian Standard Time. So it should work for everybody. So once this zone is a different zone, which I've been talking on and again, I didn't know that, how so beautifully it's going to blend. I never knew this. That is why I take all this as divine plan only. Because all these years I've been talking about free will, divine will, free will, divine will. I said, yeah, how in awareness your free will decreases and more of divine will happens. How in awareness the ego starts dissolving and more of consciousness takes place. How in this practices the I-ness starts reducing and the you starts happening. How in this practices my will goes down and surrender starts happening. It's more on surrender, going with the flow. But it's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy for everybody to understand what I'm saying. Or these topics are not for everybody, because only after your prarabdha thins, your karmas have to thin. Your mind has to purify. This is what not I am saying, the scriptures are saying. Only when your mind gets purified to a certain level at least, is when the light starts showing you the deeper truths. And that is when you have these inclinations. Even to listen to topics like this, forget contemplating, even to listen, you get attracted to even listen to these things. It is only because your karmic stuff is thinning. Today I put a beautiful poster of Ramana, what he said. See, so beautiful it is. So Ramana Maharishi says, any living being that comes to me, it is only to work out the balance of its karma. So don't prevent anyone from coming to me. This is a quote that I put in today's Facebook and Instagram. What does it mean? Balance of karma means only when you are thinning out to a certain level and some more stuff is left. Some more. When you compare it to the mundane life, the gross consciousness, that's too heavy. But you have worked out most of those things. So whatever is left behind is now exhausting itself in this direction. So this is where the rest of the prarabdha starts dying out. And what is prarabdha? What is mukti? What is salvation? Salvation is impossible without the death of ego, the I consciousness, the body consciousness, the I-ness, the separateness has to completely annihilate itself. The mind has to be completely dissolved. Mano laya nahi, mano nasha. Mano laya means what we suspend during night. We go in the to bed at night. There is a mano laya. Laya means absorption. The mind gets absorbed in the self, the soul. When it gets absorbed in the soul, it is not dead, but it's still there, but it is suspended for some time. The morning when you wake up, it comes back again, and every content in that mind throws back again. It brings out all the contents. Contents have not gone anywhere. That is manolaya. Same happens in dhyana samadhi. When you enter deep into samadhi, there also malolaya only happens. Manonasha is not happening. That is why Bhagavan Ramana talks about that yogi. 1000 years he went into deep samadhi and came back. So Bhagavan Ramana asked, what do you think that the yogi did? The first thing after coming back, after thousands years of that samadhi, he asked for a glass of water. Why? Because before going into that samadhi, he had craved, that vasana for thirst was there. Give me water. But before drinking that water, he went into deep samadhi. Now that's a very impressive thing, going into samadhi. But it is not impressive from the point of Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi. From the point of self-realization, it is nothing. They say it's still a bondage. Because only mind has been suspended for 1000 years. But still it has the vasana of that water waiting there. Because the mind is suspended, like in your sleep, the mind has gone down. But it is waiting for you to wake up, okay? Let this one wake up and well, bounce back into his or her laps. Same is in samadhi. In samadhi also, manolaya happens, not manonasha. And Upadesha Saram talks about abiding in the self, not in the mind. The more you live in the mind, problems. You enhance the vasana. But the more you move into the soul consciousness space, the ego starts dying. The mind starts dying. And that is the purpose of the whole spiritual journey, to have mano nasha, to annihilate and dissolve the mind completely. When that happens is what is called mukti. That is moksha. That is liberation or salvation. How much do we know this in our whatever spirituality that we know about? Nobody talks about these things. Because why it is not talked is because the whole power is still in the mind and ego only. Everything, all that achievements, even a spiritual achiever attain success in spirituality, it's still the ego is there. Because if that is annihilated, then everything is gone. You see, even you will not want mukti if you really are asking yourself. You sit right now and contemplate and see. You will see that you don't want mukti. You don't want liberation. You might say that to just wind up and you say you want to go to some higher ascension, some higher goal in spirituality. So okay, that is called mukti. But if you actually see that, okay, this is what happens in mukti. Right now I said complete annihilation of the mind and ego. And you might think, what is then left? The ego, most of the time, always, all the time, doesn't want to die. That's what it said. Why Bhagavan Krishna said only a few handful of them achieve this? Because it takes time for one to sink into this and come progress little by little, little by little, little by. Don't think it's so one that to the point of Atma Vichara. It's very like this. Overnight, I do some practice and I get there. No, it's a gradual progression. Little, and what is the progress? The more you progress, the more you leave things. If you ask me how is your progress happening, I will say how much are you dropping things by now, or what rate you are dropping things is your progress. If you have not been able to drop anything in this world, anything from the mind and ego, no progress. Whatever you have been doing. Progress means that should happen. One by one, one by one, one by one, all this clinging should leave and you become more and more free and open and free and independent. But if that is not happening, then when somebody asked about to Ramana, what is this? Progress. How can I know what is my progress? He said from 2 points of view. One he said is you'll have lesser and lesser of thoughts. Mind will have lesser and lesser of thoughts. That's one simple way to know how much you are progressing. The more thoughts you have, whatever bar say, whatever you attain in spirituality, that's another glory and all, that's another thing. But if the thoughts are too much day and night, then where it has to affect that spirituality, it has not gone and affected there. Means it is not moving towards manonasha. It is strengthening the mana. It is only strengthening. And how does it strengthen? When we are not aware. When we just keep on doing. The doer, the karta is the main one to bring you all the problem. Everywhere there is a thinking, I am doing, even I am doing sadhana. Enough to take karma. That is what these shastras say. These great masters say that the moment you say, I am doing something or I am the doer, you take the fruits. The fruits come straight to you. Simple funda this is. The whole Bhagavad Gita, if you ask me in one line, it is this. The moment you identify and say that you are the doer, the karma comes to you. That's it. And the opposite of that means what? The other way is what? That more I feel that I am not doing, but something else is doing through me, that karma passes on that side to the doer. If I am the doer, it comes to me. And what keeps us bound in this world again and again? Punarpi Janma, Punarpi Marna. Again and again, recycle of birth and death. It is this karmas. Basic thing I'm telling you. If you want to know what is this salvation, simple words I'm telling you. What is liberation? Means no more janmas, no more births. And what is birth? Many births. What produces births? What keeps birth going? Birth and death. Karmas. So no more birth means what? No karmas. Simple. Now here what is the funda? If anything that I do with my doership, that I'm the doer, I'm gathering karmas. And if I'm gathering karmas, definitely there is another janma. Because there is a prarabdha. Can you see the catch there? And in spirituality, everything we do, I am the doer. The focus that has to be there is you are not the doer. That should be the foundation of all the spiritual first practice. I mean, those practices which really mean salvation. Which means anything other than salvation, personal interest and all, then it will be something else. basic foundation they will teach you is that ego is the problem. That is what Ramana is teaching here. Arunachala is what? Destroyer of ego. The hill, destroyer of ego. Can you get this? Ego means what? This body consciousness it will shed, and there is mukti. So what is the Arunachala hill in Tirunamalai telling? That your problem of this Punarpi Janmam and Maranam is because of the body consciousness, which is the ego, that I am this body. Because I am this body is creating karmas again and again. That is why you're coming again and again. You annihilate this I-ness and then you be free. That is why that hill is known as I am the redeemer of that I-ness, false I-ness. Are you getting it? This is very crystal clear. I'm talking about what is the focus towards salvation. It is complete the annihilation of the ego. So the progresses that you will see, actual progress on this path towards salvation. I'm not talking about spiritual success of becoming something in this. You start becoming nobody little by little, little by little, little by little. So all the nobodiness is going on. You'll see a lot of humbleness coming in life, humility. Because the other opposite of humility comes again from the strength of ego that I am the doer. When you know you are not the doer, what can you claim? I had done this or this is to my credit. You cannot. Even if your mind does, you will feel ashamed somewhere. Your awareness will tell you, hey, what are you thinking? You mean it? Come on. Are you sure you did this? Suddenly you will feel embarrassed. That's humility. So these things starts happening first. You slowly shy away from all the I-ness one by one, one by one. It will not completely go, but you'll see a lot of changes happening. If you see this, that's progress. When the I-ness starts going, the you-ness starts coming. So if he's the doer, my tension starts reducing. Why does the tension and stress come? Because I am the doer. I am responsible. I got to create this. I got to destroy it. I got to sustain it. I got to maintain it. So much of work for this I. And it's so much. Sometimes overwhelming. Sometimes all the time it's overwhelming. And that is what causes stress. Day in and day out. Thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. So if you don't get this funda very clear, and if you try to kill the thoughts, it is like cutting grass but not uprooting it from the roots. And what I'm talking here is the roots. What you are doing is cutting the grass from top and thinking that why is it not going? Do one practice. Why is it not going? The whole funda should be based on this. So once you have this understanding, then your life perception will start changing. You look at things from different, your awareness will show you in every different angle. Your awareness will keep you so cautious of this I-ness all the time. And the more cautious you are and the more you become free with the flow, there's nothing to plan, there's nothing so much to do. Now you might say, no, I received one message from a lady yesterday because I had said that, for serious seekers. So I'm just not doing any serious scriptures and all, just live like this. I'm putting it in a group, so please subscribe if you want. So that person said, she came and told yesterday, it is not that I am not a serious seeker. I am also a serious seeker on this path to salvation. I am also seeking it. So it doesn't mean if I am not a social media person, I'm not a serious seeker. Not exactly same word, but she meant this. She said, I have responsibilities. I have dependence on you. So whenever I get time, I come online, I see your videos, and I do whatever I can to the best. That's all that I can do. But I am a serious seeker. I said that is the perfect way of living. What you said. There is no denial in that, and that's absolutely how one should live. I never said that you have to be all the time on social media, all the time attending to these things or programs and all these things, every single video. And if you have the time and resource, do it. If not, there is no compulsion that this is the way it should be. But You are finding time and you're doing it in your own time, whatever you say. That's fine. That's the perfect way to live. But I told her that has nothing to do with signing up for updates. See how the mind tricks you into all these justifications. What has that got to do with updates? You sign up for the updates, you get it on your cell phone, you decide whether you want to see it, whether you have time or not. Then you see or not see, that is still the same situation. I mean, getting an update doesn't mean that you are compelled to see everything. No, whenever you have convenience, you see. When you don't want to see, you don't see. I even tell people, constantly keep on asking, uh, are you still there? Okay, or should we reshuffle? Or if you want the updates, let me know. If you not don't want, don't reply or say no, whatever. I'll take you off. And I've taken a couple of people off also. Some said, two of them said no. I took them off. Some didn't reply. Maybe they didn't see or whatever. I looked for some days and took them off. So that's okay. That's absolutely okay. But that justification that we give, that, this is the reason I'm not, and I'm telling you, this justification is a little more deeper in her. I didn't tell her. But she said, please explain on this. So I said, let me explain it in the videos only somewhere, because I'm not going to answer her there. Because I'm not for convenient people. Like, they come once in a month and they have a lot of queries and they want me to answer because they don't have time to look into all these updates. I can't help. There is a consequence for everything. If you say this, then there is a that also there. You cannot expect everything to happen for you and then मैं आपकी खातिरदारी करते बैठूं, वो भी नहीं. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that, but I know you do not mean that also. You are a pure-hearted soul. But what I'm trying to tell you is, this seeking of what we are telling about salvation and all, then that's not our cup of tea. We should be first very clear what is this salvation, what we are talking about. And then once we get into that, there is a certain kind of seriousness that will come in life. The very fact that we are telling, I have got a lot of things to attend to, itself means I am still not on that phase where I can dedicate completely towards itself. Maybe I'm a seeker on the path of salvation. And I'm telling you, who is not? Even an evil person is moving towards salvation. Everybody in Kali Yuga is moving towards Satyuga. किसी के पास option है? Everybody is moving there. So it is not about your choice, dear one. You are also moving there. But when I am saying seriousness, I am talking about those people who are literally in that zone now, when they are completely, their priorities have changed. I'm not saying you have dependents, you have children, so your priority doesn't become this and it's something else, escapism or something. I'm not saying that at all. Please get this very clear. And serious spirituality and your family has nothing to do with each other. Absolutely nothing to do with each other. This is the lame excuse that your mind is giving you. That only one thing at a time can be dealt with, either my family or the spiritual practice. No, I'm telling you that seriousness, if it is there, it will come even if you have 10 children. And after the 10 children, if you are still the lone earner, if you have seriousness, there are history records. You take out and see stories and real stories of so many people who have done so many despite being completely amongst the responsibilities without leaving their worldly responsibility. They were there and they did it, but it all determines, it comes from your determination and perseverance on the path, not these little excuses that we give. छींक मारा आपने, अरे वो हमारा घर पे वो काम है. What did Jesus tell? What did Jesus tell to that person? To his one of his disciples said, "Come, follow me." And he said, "Oh, Master, wait. Somebody has died at my home. My father has died. People are weeping there. Please give me some time. I'll go bury my father and come quickly." And what did Jesus say? He said, "Let the bury dead the bury. Let the dead bury the dead." Who are dead in consciousness, let them bury your father's dead body. You are alive, you come. Now, if that Jesus would have told a common person like you and me, we would have cursed him saying that. What nonsense are you talking about? I have so many family people at home. What are you talking? Leave them and all come. Why did Jesus not take the mic and tell? Of course, there was no mic those days, but if he had, he would have, people would have given him. But he would have not screeched it out on the public and said that, leave everybody, let the dead bury the dead and come. He said it only to one person. Why? Because he saw the seriousness and ripeness of that soul. So that's what I'm telling. When I'm saying serious, it is not meant for everybody. It is meant for those who are ready and understanding it to that point of what they want in life. When they are done with their so-called world, only then this inner world, inner spirituality begins towards liberation. Till then, there is nothing. So this funda, we have to get it first very, very clear. And it is a false notion to feel that, if I go into spirituality, what will happen? Where will I pay my rent? Where will I pay my bills? How will I take care of my food? This is a person who is still not understood spirituality itself. This tattva only has not been understood. See, when we are talking, he is the doer. And he, जिसने चुग्गा दिया वो दाना भी देगा. The one who has given the beak will give the grain also. This is what the saying is. Every bird, every single prakriti mein, even the germs are taken care of. What are you and me? There also it is only our ego consciousness where we feel I am responsible for taking care. I am the doer. So the doer is the sufferer. That ideology is which you have wrong. From there begins your suffering. If that ideology reverses, which can happen only after going beyond a certain level of consciousness, then it becomes clear and one will notice also, yes, all these things are being taken care of in some way. And the more you understand that, the more you get acquainted to the divine will, then the free will. Their transition is possible. Their evolution is possible. But the mindset that keeps giving this excuse of worldly responsibilities, your worldly responsibilities are going to be there. If you have family of, let's say, 5 people or 10 people, till your death also there are going to be, maybe a little will reduce here and there, but they are going to be there. So are you going to complain till your deathbed? Oh, no. I was meaning old age. By the old age, I have enough. No, I'll make everything for everybody and then I'll retire. Then I'll pull back. Till then, at least I should support them. They are also the doer. You are feeling okay. I should support them. There also you are feeling I am there. I'm telling you one thing. Just imagine you are gone like this. उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला. Who knows? Any moment anybody उड़ जाएगा. And suppose आप उड़ गए. अब कहाँ गया वो बात? I have to take care of everything. I am responsible. Who will take? You think everybody is going to just perish without you? It will still be taken care of. That is Prakriti. It is only your false idea that you feel that you are the doer. You are taking care of everything. And this, what I am telling you, will be understood only by few. The others might curse me for this, and it's okay. I am not talking to the others also. I'm only talking to those who can listen to this, understand this, perceive this. And for those who are to come to that level of edge of their states of consciousness, will be able to relate to this very clearly. It's not very rocket science to understand. You can perceive it very clearly. Yes, you can see truth in it. But those who are rooted too much in their ego consciousness find it very offensive. Why? अरे क्या बात कर रहे हो तुम, मेरी मेरी पदवी छीन रहे हो मुझसे. You are snatching away my role that I'm playing. I am the doer here. I'm the creator. I own my life. I own my whole family. Without me, nobody is anything. Without me, the world is nothing. My family is nothing. My office is nothing. My business is nothing. My country is nothing. Without me. कितने आए कितने गए ऐसे. How many came and how many went like this? Where they claimed they are the doer. Still, we are not understanding, catching that point key. This is not how the cosmos works. So to even settle down into these kind of truths also, you have to be very, very practical. And I'm telling you, these kind of things you'll very much little hear, even in spirituality. Spirituality, you'll keep on hearing all the same things again. What? What you got to do in the world? It is still samsara. It is called Vishaya Vasana. It's called Vishaya Vasana. Anything that pulls you towards samsara is Vishaya Vasana. And what I am talking about is Sattvasana. There's something called Sattvasana also. Soul Vasana. The inclination, the Vasana, the desire to go towards the soul. It is a Vasana, but still it is a very fruitful Vasana. 1,000 billion times better than Vishaya Vasana. All these are Vasanas, but people give excuse. Now I'm not opening these things directly to them because they'll feel offended there. Okay, I said I'm not going to respond to anybody personally. I'll put it here. If you have the time, you come and sit here, listen to these things, absorb these things, it will become clear to you. No personalized service I give to anybody. Where you separately ask me question and I separately answer you. No, nobody is special. So if I get anything anywhere from any questions from anywhere also, I come and answer here only always. I never answer anybody personally. However close I am to anybody. Then it's partiality. And coming back to the main obstacle that I talked about in this whole chapter is the feeling, the urge to become perfect right now. भैया हमने किया प्रैक्टिस, ठीक लगा, 2 दिन अच्छा लग रहा था, लेकिन फिर मन आ रहा है. मन तो आएगा भाई, जब तक आप नहीं जाओगे तब तक मन आएगा. किसने बोला आपको मन नहीं आएगा? मन तो रहेगा ही. वासना इतने जो भरे बैठे हैं, आएगा ही मन. क्यों नहीं काम करेगा? रोने बिलगने से कुछ नहीं होगा. इफ यू कीप क्राइंग एंड ट्रम्बलिंग एंड टॉसिंग एंड कर्सिंग एंड सो कॉल्ड रिलीजिंग एंड ऑल दैट, ऑल दोस टर्म्स आर देयर. रिलीजिंग क्या? रिलीज all egoic terms. I'm telling you, be very mindful of all these things. Be very aware. Who releases? The one who is catching so much. The one who catches only has the ego to tell I have released so much. हमने इतना पकड़ा है, वो एक ईगो अलग है. हमने इतना छोड़ा, वो भी एक उसमें अहम होता है कि I've released so much. Be very, very careful of that Mr. Ego. Because here we are talking about annihilating that one only, who's sitting cunningly as a king there and operating all these things. And without your knowledge, he's still strengthening that only. And who's the one who feels guilty all the time? I'm repeating, it is ego consciousness. If you live in guilt, you're dominated by ego consciousness. Who will feel guilty? The I. Why it will feel guilty? Go deeper into the science. Investigate. Go down and see. Again, let's do it now. I feel guilty. I feel I've done something wrong. You will say, what is their ego in that? Is it the humility है बोलने के लिए कि I have done so much wrong? No, go deeper and see. Go deeper and see. It is like, मैंने ये गलती किया, ये मेरे से कैसे हुआ? How did this? How dare I do this? How can I do this kind of a mistake? That is guilt. How can I, the perfect one, have done this kind of, oh, now I cry, rude. become fully aware that moment you become aware that crying will suddenly drop, and then you'll scratch your head for some time, and then you'll smile and get embarrassed a little bit, and then get up and go and do about your work. As simple. This is called inner shadow work. There is another program that I'm doing, inner shadow, some other time. Actually, awareness only does inner shadow work. And that, if you practice very strongly, it is so ruthless. Like what I'm talking right now, you'll not even imagine this. Oh my God, I never thought. This looks like a so gentle and nice thought. Every time, because I'm feeling so nice when I feel guilty. The poor me. And when somebody looks at me with in the self pity mode or guilt mode or victim mode, and they have that eyes of compassion, kindness, wanting pity, and they look at me, that is the time I blast them like anything. Say, you are a ruthless guy, stone hearted guy. कितने तो छोड़ के गए मेरे को इसमें. Many stop talking, many just disconnect. I like, go. Better you realize these things or you don't. I'm not here to enhance these things. If you're looking up to me for some answers, it is my dharma to tell you what is right. If you're not, then go and look out somewhere. Don't come to ask me. Simple. Don't come to ask me why I'm not a clown here entertaining people. My business is only this. This is not my business also. My business is to mind my own business. But then if somebody comes with their own business, and if I feel little compassionate, then it's my free will, my ego will to want and go and help there or whatever. But these things should be pointed out. So this person who cried after that once also coming to me, and in the words only, crying, weeping, you don't talk to me like this. The whole world does this to me. I'm troubled already. Come from so far, and you don't have to talk to me like this. Please, Bhaiya, please have mercy on me. Please pity me. You don't look at me kindly. Look at me with some kindness. What are you talking? I am flaring up. Why are you doing this to me? I expect love out of you. I respect you. That is why I've come here so far. Just wanted to be in your presence and whatever, blah, 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 blah. Don't do anything. Flatter me with gold also, I am going to still say what is the right thing. I'm telling you, you are crying, you want a solution. And I'm giving you the solution, but you're not interested in the solution. And you are going to cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. You have been crying all your life. What's the big deal? Now, if you want to break that dirty pattern of that egoic pattern of self-pity and guilt, get over it once and for all. Otherwise, get over from me. Don't come here expecting pity. Our whole problem is this: we go everywhere expecting help in the name of pity, compassion. Somebody take compassion and kindness on me. And believe me, if somebody takes compassion and kindness on you, you have become that person's slave. Believe me, trust me. Any person, individual, group, community, system, path, whatever you call it, religion, anybody who takes pity on you, daya, and keeps showing you daya, is keeping you in the comfort zone and will keep you in hell. Will keep you in all the bonded stuff only. They might benefit, you will never benefit. So this must be very, very, very crystal clear to you, these things. This guilt, self-pity, this complaining, self-brooding, self-questioning all the time. If you are, every time you find yourself questioning the path that you are taken, am I doing this correct? Am I doing this correct? I still find the people here so clinging on to here and there, some old beliefs भी लटके हुए हैं. अभी कुछ new beliefs that they are seeing है, that भी लटके हुए, ये भी सही लग रहा है, वो छोड़ना नहीं चाहते because वो उनका security है, because वो छूट गया और लटक नया कोई कॉन्सेप्ट में लटक गया और क्या पता ये कॉन्सेप्ट सही है कि नहीं. This is because you don't have आत्मविश्वास. You are not investigating on your own. I am talking this from my own conviction. I am investigated and I know what is the truth for you. You have not done it. So you are a believer of me. What I am telling you, are just believing me for whatever reason that is. That comes from your pattern because you are believing somebody else. Now you are believing me. And we keep on believing. We one believer to the other. Somebody else talks something, you feel, that sounds good. Let me go and check it out. अच्छा तो लग रहा है, होगा शायद. Hold on. That another belief. Until these things seep into your being and until you start realizing it, you will not have the courage to leave the old patterns and old things which does not suit you anymore. Only because of your fear and insecurity, you are catching hold of everything. And you feel if you dip your hands in all the fingers in all the जाने दो. It doesn't work that way. And what are we here talking about? Getting rid of everything one by one, including the final one, whichever has given you emancipation, whichever has given you redemption. I'm telling you, even if you're using this platform or if you're using my help also, you will have to give up on me one day. Very crystal clear. And if you don't walk with this right now in your mind, you're not walking the right path. Anything and everything you'll have to give up one day. If you cannot give up these things, mark my words, you can never give up your ego. All this clinging comes from the ego only. See how deeply these things are related. Very, very deeply these things are related. Not that you have to give it up right now. I'm not saying, हाँ अभी ज्ञान हो गया छोड़ना है, नहीं. जब वो बोध होगा तब छूटेगा. It's okay. Whenever you realize those things, it will go on its own. Let it go. But have this understanding is what I'm telling you. Have clarity. Don't do anything beforehand. Like if you feel, the whole world talks about silence. Even Ramana Maharshi talks about silence. Have you reached that stage of silence? No. Then continue. But know that one day you will become silent. One day eventually your words will reduce. So you are now very a practical person. You're living a practical spiritual life where you're seeing progression eventually. You are not in a hurry to grab any situation before it ripens. All your problems, I'm telling, today's subject that I chose, your biggest obstacle I said on your path. Your biggest obstacle is to become that something beforehand. The very thing that you are even sitting and saying, my thoughts are still troubling me, people are still troubling me, I'm still getting offended, I'm still getting triggered. Bound to accept it. Simple thing is acceptance. I'm getting triggered, I'm having weakness, I'm having flaw. Okay, let it be. Why are you going and investigating, creating files over files, and then keeping a check on everything? This is there, this is still there, this is not there. Why are you so interested in that dirt? It shows that your interest is not there in the other things. You're more interested in what is not good in your life. Why is that happening? I'm not stopping till they're telling that, oh, aisa mat socho, aisa mat socho. That is all preaching. I'm telling, investigate, find out, go deeper through your awareness. You'll come to know where it is coming from. It is coming from this impatience. Oh, I have begun these practice, I have doing this. Now I get to get rid, because you have some false idea which you have taken. I don't know who has given you that. That if you do this, you'll get, yes, but it is eventually you'll get rid of whatever that is. Tell me one technique, one path, anything that you did, and a few days you are out with it. No. Then why this impractical thought of this? Why this obsession with this perfection? Ego consciousness, I'm telling you. Be very aware of these things. This is your biggest obstacle on the path. It will not take you on the path ahead. 3 kadam aage, 4 kadam piche. 3 steps ahead, 4 steps back. This is what it is. 3 steps you will walk in enthusiasm, and 4th step you will walk in worry and contemplation, and this kind of contemplation, and wrong ideologies, guilt and self-pity and all that. All the time having this tendency to go and see what is not there, what is still not correct in me, what is imperfect in me. Am I worthy or not? There are still some people I can see who, after walking, even they still doubt. They can still sit now and say, am I doing the right thing? If you have this feeling even now, am I doing the right thing? Let me tell you, no. You're not doing the right thing. You should be doing something else. Because what doesn't work for you, you should just leave it. Whichever that is. Any path, any religion. If it is not working for you, quit it. Don't be there because somebody else is there. Quit means what? I'm not saying get out of here or get out. I'm saying move to that zone which you feel can liberate you. Whatever that is. Because all the paths lead to one goal. No paths are lesser or bigger, nothing. All paths are equal, depending on your tendency, your vasanas, your karmas, your prakriti, your nature. Everybody has inclination to take some path. So even the inclination to follow this path of self-inquiry, which we have not yet gone there, but even this cultivation of awareness also is a certain kind of a tendency, nature. But it's a very high tendency. Why? Because this is not easy for everybody to catch. This deals with straight soul consciousness, and this deals very badly with ego consciousness, awareness, the path of awareness, and above this, becoming self-aware, awareness of the self, realizing the self. This path, you can't realize the self until you kick out the ego. So this is a very less walked path, because it is very painful. It deals with the ego, killing the ego. And nobody wants to kill their ego. So that is where the catch is. But ultimately what happens is, that is what Ramana beautifully explains, even Upadesha Saram beautifully says. Ramana says this very clearly, that all paths will eventually come to Atma Vichara only. This was confirmed before me talking all this, that yatra which I did in Himalaya, and now I see all the pictures, everything fitting very clear. And he also told me that all this leads only to mind purification. That's all. After that, Atma Vichara begins. So the worthiness to begin that state of self-inquiry is this dissolving of ego. And to dissolve the ego, one has to be fully aware of it. Because if somebody is not in awareness, and if they are in ego consciousness, the ego will never want to kill the ego. So they will immediately run away from such kind of paths. Just means that the ego consciousness is still very high. It will need lot of chiseling through other paths, like karma yogi bano, seva karo, kirtan karo, se japa, mantra japa karo. तपा करो, तपस कर करके घिसो अपने अहम को. Let the ego be annihilated by all these paths, because these paths are meant to nothing but, chisel of the ego. And when that breaks down a person, that I-ness, it starts breaking down, and that light of awareness starts opening up, then one is able to even understand what we are talking here. And I know and I believe that all those who are listening to this also have been through all that path, where you have chiseled enough to understand this. Because you need a certain amount of humility to listen to this. Somebody who's at high, know it's very difficult. They will not be able to relate to what we are saying here. Very difficult. So the complementary is these things. This is a compliment that we are even understanding. But again, even understanding here, the catches are these things. Expecting perfection. It is absolutely absurd to expect the state of self-realization right now. Many of you I can see are expecting that, and that is where your pain is coming from. You somehow know it's going towards self-realization, but the only thing, you're very impatient. You can't. What is the impatient? Oh, there's a lot of traffic on the way. I want to get there. There, traffic is on the way. Here, traffic is in your mind. Old clogged traffic is here. So, if the police comes and clears up the road traffic, you can move faster. Same way, you are the police here. Your awareness is that you move into that awareness, all these traffic will move out on its own, and easily you can move ahead. So who creates the traffic jam? The I-ness, the impatience. And you'll always see when you're moving, even out on the road, the more impatient you are, the more traffic will come in front of you. Check out the days when you're late and when you want to go on time, reach somewhere. You'll find absolutely at that time there is a lot of obstacles and traffic and all that. Otherwise, you'll see it's all open. Similarly, is here also. That impatience. I actually laugh at people when sometimes they say they're all serious seekers, they are all doing good, fine, but they are not happy with that good also, because they want perfectness. So, hey, now, phobia, perfect phobia. They are not happy with that good results. Not perfect. That's what I'm saying. You are expecting self-realization now, here and now. Perfect state is that. So you're expecting it now with this kind of track. Why it is not coming now? A whole change, but not enough. I need to get perfect. That's your problem. You'll never get perfect with that. Why? Lack of self-acceptance. The day and moment you accept yourself the way you are, 100%. I am this way. It's okay with me. All is fine with me. When it is unfolding, it's fine with me. Once, and that's what I'm telling. When you enter into deeper zones like Upadesh Sara, when you come to know the divine will, हाथ पावर माँ करके कुछ फायदा नहीं. Everything is going on its own way. Whether I do it, I don't do it, life is moving. Tomorrow, one day, you get up in the morning. Whole day you say, I'm not going to take any decision. Free will, no free will. One day, free will fasting. No divine will also. No will only there. And just sit and see. Let me see what will happen. No free will at all. You'll still see that your life will just go as normal as the other days. You don't take any decision. Don't think about your family. Don't think about your bills. Don't think. One day, 24 hours, you leave everything. Experiment, I'm telling. I'm not telling believe. That's what these are all practices where you will actually experience it firsthand. You'll see that somehow food will still come to you. You'll see that somehow your work is getting done. Somehow, even if you get the temptation, no, without me that is not good. Still stay there and see what will happen. Just do it and see. I don't want to tell what will happen. You do it and see. You will come to know this is no one who does anything. I'm in the false feeling because that doing whatever I do, I feel the example of the dog walking under the bullock cart. My Gurudev used to give this example long back. He used to say that the dog is tied under. There is a dog always tied those days, under the bullock cart. One dog, the protector dog, is tied under the bullock cart, and the bullock cart is going. So dog is also moving all the time under it. Wherever the bullock cart is going, is there. Slowly it develops the feeling that it is running the bullock cart. Actually, it is tied under it. Have you seen a lizard on the floor, on the roof? चिपकली ऐसे चिपका हुआ on the roof. Even that has a feeling that it is holding the roof. This is our situation. We feel that everything is running because of us. बोला ना, ऐसे ऐसे मार दिया ना, one this is also no difference will be made in your this whole life. Oh, retreat में somebody said no, that your children will cry when you die. Your body till the door somebody cries. Your children will cry, and till the gate your who's that? Your wife will cry. No, something else it is there. Until the graveyard, your wife will cry, and after the graveyard, for a year, your mother will cry. Something like that. There was a nice song. झूठा कूटती छाती. Kabir's song is झूठा. He says, झूठा is your बाप, झूठा is your माई, your mother, झूठा सकल परिवार, the whole family is झूठा, झूठा छूटती कूटती छाती. False is your father, false is your mother, false is the whole family. False is the one that beats the chest and cries, "Oh, I have lost this one," or "Somebody left me," and gone. Because they don't know. There's nobody to leave and go. You're all there eternal. Who are these people who shoot Kurta Chhati? The dead. What Jesus said, the dead bury the dead. They're wailing and crying, "Oh, one person is gone." So he said, "Let the dead bury the dead." Both are dead only, as good as dead. You are alive, no? You can see what is the truth. So these, when you get into these kind of realities, and when you have a sinking into these realities, you will be very practical. Now you will not become another strong-headed fanatic. Like, oh, now I got again. I sat with some stupid guy night at 11 o'clock midnight and listened to some of his live uh, telecasts, webcasts, and that stupid guy told us something, and I got a stupid idea right now that everything is false. So jhuta, baap ko dekh raha hai, and hey, this guy is jhuta. You're looking at your mother and saying, "Oh, this also is jhuta." Looking at children, this also jhuta. Everything is jhuta, and then now you have become realized. Now you have realized the truth, and now you don't care. When they come like jhuta, all jhuta, which is false. Why should I identify with all the falseness and all? I'm free. Get lost, all of you. I close myself, my room. All jhuta, sakal parivar, all false. This is not what Kabir is saying. Okay, people can misinterpret even what Kabir is saying here. He's saying jhuta tharo baap, jhuta mai baap, jhuta sakal parivar, jhuta kurti chati. All this he's saying is false, 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 false. It is for you to understand that your connection with these things are false. The possession that you have, this is my father, this is my mother, this is my children, this is my that is false. What you see, those beings are not false, they are there, they also have their own existence. So don't get this wrong again, don't understand this wrong, because there also I see many are stuck, they have this pain, now they have complaints on their family, they don't understand me only. What to do? Try to convince them, they don't understand. I want to change them now, jane do, nahi to I go my way, I don't care for anybody. No, that's not the way. When you have truly realized that you don't possess and obsess anyone, you are not the doer. Even your own children, they have come through you. They have not to you. They didn't come to you, through you. You just were a medium to bring them out in this world. They will feel gratitude, like, oh, I've been able to serve that power and, bring some beautiful soul out of me. And then you'll have little more caring attitude, but you'll not have obsession with that person. That's what it means. You'll still be a very loving, kind, merciful, beautiful human being as a mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, whatever. It'll all be there. But that falseness of that, you belong to me, I belong to you, that nonsense will go. Only that will go. That's all. Rest will remain. That is the actual meaning of Vairagya. When you understand this, you don't need any Himalayan caves. You can still be there. You can be Jivan Mukta. Now I'm not bonded by anything. As simple. Yes, but there will be challenges that people may not understand you, and things may not go your way. Your way is my way. That you got to become aware. Or am I commanding my way here? That when you get too deep into this, you're this nothing of my way. Your way. You just allow everything to happen His way, whatever that way is. You don't interfere too much into others' life. You're not obsessed with, I want my son to do this way, I want my mother to do this way, I want my wife to do this way, I want my children to do this way. Who are we to change anybody's prarabdha? That itself shows your attachment there. Still not understanding this basic. We might philosophically understand it, but when we practice it is what comes into place. The idea of changing somebody's life also is the idea that I am the doer, that I wants to change somebody. You are not agreeing that everybody has a prarabdha. You're not agreeing that everybody has come with their own destiny. Still the obsession is there, I want to control. Why? Because you own that property. That's a property. You might call it any name. But whatever you own, trust me, that's a property, nothing less than a property, even if it is at your own child. If you're deeply having this feeling that you own it, it is nothing but a property. The moment you say that you don't own it, but you are there for it, without ownership, that is unconditional love, that is there. Then understand that's your child. You can call it a child, or you can call it your parents or a spouse, because there these words also will not have any that kind of attachment. But you're living as a mother, you're living as a father, you're living as a child, you're living as a friend, whatever, without attachments. That is the whole thing, dear ones. If you can catch that thing, you are ready to move further. It will be easier for you further. Otherwise, it's very difficult. You will cry and weep and cry and weep. One thing is where you say the divine does everything. And then you are saying, He is the doer, let Him do. And then you cry. On one side, you are saying, you take care of everything. You only do everything. Now I don't know anything. This means I have not still understood this concept. Who's this one who's crying? Who's this one who's boasting that you only take care of me? Who's this one who's self-pitying? I need to be taken care of. Who's this one who's shedding tears? The helpless one. I'm telling you, if life would have given you little opportunity, you would have still gathered control now, because life is not giving an opportunity on that control you have left on. And it is a helpless crime that, oh Lord, it's your will, you take care. Understand this. Awareness will show this also. But when you say true surrender, I understand everything is the will of Lord, there will be cheerfulness. There cannot be tears. Because then you look at the funny comedy. Somebody told me it's comedy. Exactly it is. They will look at everything and they will feel a sense of humor in everything. They will not take it serious. Serious means you are not in adherence. You are still not accepted that fact. This is all a melodrama that's going on. Still there is ownership in that. Still there is enough participation in that. You are not seeing that participation. Participation means that crying, being affected. No, I'm affected, I'm triggered. Means you are a participant. If you're not a participant, why will you cry? Why will you get angered? Why will you get sad? Who's the one who's feeling angry and sad and depressed and helpless? The ego. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. So, spirituality means this practicality. Don't get caught up again in that consciousness which is strengthening the I. The I will cry. I is the victim. The crying means victim. The pain. You don't know the pain. You might tell me, oh, you don't know the pain I'm going under. Who's undergoing the pain? The sufferer. Who's the sufferer? The imperfect one. Perfect one, sorry. The perfect one suffers. Because nothing is going as imperfection. Everything is imperfect. The imperfect one will laugh because they know it's an imperfect world. I am also imperfect. World is imperfect. Full comedy show is going on. And I'm part of it also. Then only you can take life very lightly. So this is the biggest obstacle. What is the biggest obstacle? This obsession with being perfect and not accepting others, not accepting myself 100% the way it is. When you accept others 100%, when you accept myself 100%, it means I'm accepting the divine will of the Lord. There is acceptance of that this is divine. This is how it is. This is a crook and this is how it is. I don't have any desire to change that crook of his or her crookedness. This is one person who's stubborn and doesn't listen to me. That is the way his destiny or her destiny is made as per the divine will. It is functioning all in perfect order. I have reactions. I have these problems of reacting. I feel angry. I feel upset. 100% perfectly made as per the divine will in this state of my journey, in this place of my journey. I accept myself 100% the way I am. See, you will be liberated the moment you do that. That doership will go there. This doership has to die. You will not realize that the one who wants to change the world, one who wants to change this, that is not happening. This is not happening. They are doing that. I want this to do that. I want my son to do this. I want my daughter to do that. I hope my father listens to me in that way. I hope my wife understands me. I just hope my husband would correlate with what I'm saying. Why this necessary change? Why? What is happening is your dependence is increasing on that. The more you want to control others' life, the more you are scattered. Where? Attachment. Your whole energy and consciousness and self के लिए कुछ नहीं बचा. Only when you unclutter, you one by one you disconnect, only then you can be centered here in your being. Your being is here. For that, your presence needs to be here. How can you be present here when you are all the time present for the world and all the worldly activities, all your samsaras, all the sukha dukkha of everybody around you? Why are we involved in our children's sukha dukkha? Because we feel we are controlling their life. See the stupidity. We feel pain, we feel suffering because we are simply not accepting this fact that that is that person's karma. इतना ही फर्क है. All you have to realize is it is somebody's destiny and everything is running perfectly as per destiny. Even if somebody is troubled. If this is not seeping in, forget Upadesha Saram, उसको जला के फेंक दो आप. जला डालो उसको. फेंक तो नहीं सकते उसको. जला दो. सब नो यूज. फर्स्ट वर्स हमने लेगा पढ़ा. पढ़ने से कुछ नहीं होता. उसका बोध होना जरूरी है उस चीज का. What is that? This is what I'm talking. Practical spirituality. This is practical Upadesha Saram. वो नहीं जो when I'm realizing and I'm understanding, oh, okay, this is prayer. That has to come down in your life. Then only it is going to work. By reading, nobody is going to gain self-realization. It is by realizing, meditating and realizing that Sara. Oh, now I know the truth. It's not going to work. How that truth is going to, how are you going to impact that in your life? That is going to happen. And what is that meant for? Not just for entertainment, like, oh, I know now the truth. I know Upadesha. No. That was given to you by Shiva himself so that you now take, I'm giving you the secrets. Now you put it on, apply it to your life. If you want mukti, this is what I'm giving you. Here is a gift. Practice this in your life. That is what the message with which it is given. It is not telling, oh, you have a curious mind. आपको थोड़ा जानकारी चाहिए. Hello, ये जानकारी. And then you say, oh, I now know the truth. Truth no से कुछ नहीं होता. You have to experience it. So these basic things, when you say the divine will, everything in your world has to start to act in that form. You have to see everything, divine will in everything. Then only that first verse is acting. Otherwise, if you're just while one verse you read and the rest of the whole time you are completely controlling, worrying and stressing and thinking and discussing about her life, their life, still a lot of time is there to move towards self-realization. That's why I said this is a very serious path. When you're done with all your dunyadari and samsara, then only another journey begins here. So only lot of purification is emphasized, and which is when all the sadhanas, all the practices come into place. It's not that they don't work. They work very beautifully to a certain extent to purify. Till one starts saying that, no, okay, now I can handle my own being. From here, my yatra I can take care. I'm responsible enough. That will happen from within. Till then, all those रगड़ने की जरूरत है. Otherwise, the ego will not die so soon. So these are all beautiful methods prescribed by the great rishis again to annihilate the ego itself. But after a certain stage, you have to be very careful to realize, okay, all these are done, Karmakanda is done, all these methods are done, everything is done. Now when I am getting the Atma Bodha, now I slowly withdraw from this and get into that complete Atma Tattva. If that doesn't happen, then Shiva will come and remind you. Like he reminded the rishis. कब तक कर्मकांड Till when is this going to happen? So what does that story say? It says that even at that state of consciousness, like the rishis and rishi patnis were doing that karma kanda, they also can forget. Ki the moment they are attached to any karma, karma means karma phala will come. And I said that is Janma. That is what we discussed some time back. I made it very clear why the Janma comes. Karma. Simple. Karma means karma phala comes. The moment you do with I-ness. And the rishis were all doing with I-ness because they wanted power. They wanted something for themselves. And that is when the Lord said, you're getting stuck there. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing it. That's another thing. You're not aware completely. See, at that level also you can lose awareness. That is when the Rishi said, no, no. They changed and they said, no, no, no. This is not for us. We are doing it for liberating others. You liberate others, that's another thing. When are you going to liberate? I see that you are not liberating. Same thing I'm seeing here. It might look very liberating, but until I liberate myself from all these things, there is no point. Knowing it is of no use. Even the Rishis had knowledge. Okay. Rishis had enough gyan about Atma Tattva, Atma Bodha. ऐसे नहीं थे कि वो बुद्धू थे. They know everything. They know all the shastras. They know what is moksha. They know Atma Sakshat. They know everything. But even at that level, Ichha, even a divine Ichha is an Ichha. Ichha matlab it will result in a karma. Ichha is desire. One desire will manifest into a karma, an action. An action will result into karma phala, the fruit of that action. And that fruit of that action brings you another karma. Until this is not realized, we are not ready for self-realization stuff. So that is why I don't agree with any such methods that is not focusing on reducing or annihilating the mind and body consciousness and the ego and just fulfilling the go and do this. You cannot buy realization, my dear. Self-realization cannot be sold. You come take ticket and take a seat here and I will teach you self-realization and you got a ticket to heaven or mukti. It doesn't work that way. So that's all still competitive field of another level of things. Maybe it's good to a certain level. It can give you some gyan, it may give you some wisdom, it might give you some experience. But that experience is not manonasha, that is manolaya. You might stay in 1 hour of some samadhi or some deep, nice meditation, and after that feel, wow, I achieved something. Wow. It's only a wow for that time. After 2 days, that effect will come down and you're back to your own place. You're the same old you. Why? That was mano laya. Laya mein chala gaya tha nasha mein. So when that mind comes down after that hangover and all that, you'll feel wow. But after some time, the mano laya, after that it comes to the manosthiti, comes back to his own form. That is why Upadeshasaram says, you cannot achieve liberation without the complete annihilation of the mind and ego. And for that, there is only one way, that is Atma Vichara, which Maharishi Vashisht also told Lord Rama. The only final way towards liberation is Atma Vichara. In Atma Vichara, what you do is you live in your abidance of your soul. You abide with yourself, not with the mind. And what are we talking here? All these months. Awareness is living in your awareness, your being, and not in the mind. This is a preliminary step to that. If this is mastered well, you will see that is very easy to enter. Atma Vichara. And that's what precisely even these Westerners are very beautifully understanding this. I got a message from them yesterday, from one of the Westerners. They said, "We have seen this practice. I saw it and practice, and it's. I feel it's very authentic." And I told my other of couple of friends who are Westerners again and very serious practitioners, and for a long time he said they are sadhus. I don't know what did he mean, senior sadhus, and they are practicing these things, and they are interested now. So we just wanted one day of the satsang. We will pay also. They said. I said okay, no problem. So in June or July, whenever we are having one day, I'm keeping for these 6, 7. They said Westerners, and it might increase or decrease, whatever. I said it's okay, but see, they are finding it that this is a preliminary to that self-inquiry, because one of that person told me, "Wow!" And he was the same person who was arguing, "Yeah, this is not how it is." But the next day when he came and he sat and he had this experience. He said, "Wow!" Then he said, "I see this is a preliminary thing to Atma Vichara." Then he told me, "Jake, tell me one thing. This is all fine. Maybe if I practice this for some time." And internally, he told me, "My life is running out. I want to hold on to something that gives me value." See, I'm telling you, this is what, after years of experimenting with life, what he's saying, I'm nearing my this, so I want something to hold on where I don't regret. And then I taught him this, and then he said, wow, this is great." And he said, "What about that Atma Vichara point?" Because I see everybody, my Western friends and whoever I see, they're just sitting there and chanting, "Who am I? Who am I?" And through the mind, they're trying to find out. I understand they're getting in the wrong way, but you can't tell them also, which is very obvious because many years they've been doing and they're still getting nowhere. So he said, "This is all good, but what about Atma Vichara? Who will teach us that?" I said, "That your inner guru will teach you." I told him very clearly, "I don't believe anybody on this planet can teach you Atma Vichara. They can give you the method, because that is what even Bhagavan Ramana gave you the method. Do this." He never taught, or he never took care of anybody there and whipped a student and he said, "In 2 years I'll make you nothing." He just told them the practice. Then he did. Because then for that a supatrata is needed, a certain kind of worthiness, a certain kind of cleanliness is needed. So these things will cleanse you till then, and then that thing will automatically happen, which is my very strong belief. And that is what Ramana meant by the outer guru will only lead you to your inner guru. And your inner guru, it takes charge, it knows everything, because that soul knows everything, how to take care of it. But for us to listen and surrender to that soul, certain steps are needed. So these all lead you to that surrender, to the soul, where you can surrender completely to yourself and then allow that self to take you into Atma Vichara and do the rest of the thing to the final point. Nobody else can do it, dear ones. Nobody else can do it. But whatever we can do here, whatever we think we can do, is only to this level of attempting to purify. And in that purification, the whole efforts here also in these kind of life is to just make you aware of the side by side obstacles that will keep coming to that. So if you don't understand this, you might continue doing the same errors and still feel why it's not working. That is my reason. I told you the two live that I'm doing is, one, I'm teaching the practices. That is, now I've shifted into webinars only. I'm not doing anything live for public because it's of no use and it should be valued. So those who don't value it, I don't want to give it. That is what Jesus said. Don't throw pearls to swine. Don't throw your pearls to the dogs, because he said they will trample that same thing and then they will turn against you and they will try to kill you. That's the nature of human consciousness when you do it in the wrong places. So we are keeping it only reserved for the practices, only for people who understand this very clearly. It will be easy for them to do. Others will not even relate. Let it be. So that is one webinars that I'm doing this practice, and this is one where free lives I'm doing. This is all to annihilate the mind, to clarity, to bring clarity of doubts and all those things, and to remove the conditioning of the mind, the beliefs of the mind. So if you are uncluttering from here and doing the practice, this is what I want simultaneously: unclutter at the same time, and be in complete awareness, have clarity over the whole thing. Then it will move smoother and faster. So you can see there is a commitment for this to go. Even sitting here, I feel committed to sit here and deliver what I have to. It's a commitment for me. So if somebody is listening and somebody is having commitment towards their own life purpose, they will sit here without excuse of whatever that samsara is telling. So you have any questions, Evans? Okay, you're on YouTube also. So I was saying those other. I just kept a note of that. The other different obstacles that you will have simultaneously on this path. 10 minutes more. Is that your light is going to attract a lot of unhealed aspects of others, the dark in others. So it's like most of the things that you have transmuted in your life, which you have done away with, which you have overgrown. You might see people of that type in and around you who need that kind of transmutation. So your light is going to definitely attract dark stuff. If you're aware of this, it's good, because dark is always attracted towards the light for what reason? For transmutation. You were also attracted to somebody's light for transmutation. So obviously somebody else also dark can get attracted to you. Not necessary that you take responsibility and sit serving those. But if you realize this, you will understand, okay, there are some things that is not in match that's happening in your life. And that's okay. Because that's their free will. If they have to transmute, they will transmute. You shine, that's important. You're not shining for them. Difference. You are shining for yourself, your purpose. From that shine, whoever benefits, whichever dark or dark entities, whatever they come, if they benefit, it's fine. If they don't benefit, it is fine. There is no condition, no attachments there. Anybody benefits, it's fine. Even if it is my child, my mother, my father, my whoever. They benefit out of your line, fine. They don't benefit, fine. Absolutely fine. I would add that. If they benefit, fine. If they don't benefit, absolutely fine. But you don't stop shining. That's where the focus is. Second obstacle that you might feel is, I saw these messages somewhere and I said, beautiful. Let me share this. This was not my goal. My goal I finished in today's session. But I'm just adding. These are very good points. The second one is the spiritual ego. Believing that I am being better than others. Catch. That is also a catch. Because that is where non-acceptance comes. People around you. Because somehow, somewhere there is a feeling that I'm superior. I'm much more conscious and much more divine than all these people. That's spiritual ego, what is being pointed out. So actually, there is No one that is better than the other, if you see very carefully, because all are on the path, all are moving. Sooner or later they will all be there. You have also been there, and also you will agree that if there are so-called somebody who is lower than you, there are 100% somebody higher than you also. So if you look at that higher person, then you will feel low. Who feels low that, oh, I am low, I am not worthy, I still got to go there? The one who looks down upon others and say, I am here. This is another one. The third one is all your lifelong belief systems will start breaking down. And that thing is breaking down because it's leading you to surrender. It's making you to surrender. So that can be painful process if you don't understand that all your old belief patterns and all those things will be challenged all the time. And if you have too much obsession with all your old beliefs and all old patterns, then it's very difficult, very, very difficult for you to understand what surrender is. Maybe difficult to even get to surrender. You won't be able to surrender very easily. So you will find a lot of such old things collapsing. That is, if you allow it to collapse. If you are clinging onto the old things which is not serving your purpose, that will delay your progress. The fourth one they say is again important. You'll start becoming more sensitive towards others' feelings. Sometimes I have seen this very, very strong. Once upon a time I used to have this, now I don't have it so much, but very, very sensitive like a sponge. Anything that is happening around me, even if they tell me, don't tell me, I can catch it. Feeling somebody else's energy, not just around me, the collective consciousness also starts affecting you. Whatever is happening in the collective consciousness, you reflect. That is become your, because you're becoming more sensitive, empathic towards the feelings of the collective consciousness. So if you're not very conscious of this or aware of this, you'll end up taking unwanted clutter from people. You'll end up going and trying to get into too many people's dramas, too many people's lives, in the name of compassion. Oh, I'm feeling kind, I'm feeling compassionate, I must help. That I must help also is coming from ego, because you feel the world is imperfect, that one cannot take care, the destiny is not taking care, so I need to take care of that thing. So let me go and serve, let me go and help, and let me do whatever. That is what Ramana said once. He said, do you think you are serving the world? Everybody is talking about let us save humanity. Do you really think you save humanity? You think if you are not there, humanity will not save itself? You think if you and your team is not there, Satyuga will not come? That's the spiritual ego. When you say, I have to serve humanity, I have to save mankind. So I have become greater than God. I have to save mankind. And these are the same people who will crib and cry and boast about, look how we are saving the humanity. Look, we got a big, great job to do. Yes, you got to do because you are the doer. Do it. But you don't fall in the trap of saving. And Ramana used to always say, don't even try to save anybody. Save yourself. That is mukti. You save yourself the moment you realize all your samsara will just vanish, evaporate right in front of you. All this samsara and all these feelings that you're getting, incomplete hai, and I have to save this. All this is coming because your mind is alive. ये पूरा projection of the mind है. When you sleep, you're not aware of who's dying and how much humanity problem. Do you claim that time? Because the owner is not there to claim while you sleep. That ego is not there. The mind is sleeping. And this culprit, when it gets up, then it wants to go and save the world. So he says that is temporary mukti at night. It tells when you get permanent mukti from it, the permanently world will disappear. See, so beautiful it is. So this ownership, taking ownership, when you start feeling everybody's, it's good to be compassionate, it's good to be kind, but you also know that you just do what you have to do and move ahead. You don't crib about it, you don't boast about it, you have nothing attached to it. Because there also, when you serve, also, you know something is serving through you and you're not bothered, not very serious on it. So if I'm given an opportunity to save somebody, help somebody, it will be there in my platform. In my life, that will happen to me very spontaneously. I don't have to go and hunt where I have to do seva. I don't have to go into the mountains and find out uh, who is sick here. I don't have to go into the slums and find who's hungry here. If you are destined to help somebody, is where you're walking. While you're walking on the road, maybe somebody is helpless, they don't have food, and you give them food. That's it. You are doing your whatever is in your hands. Limitation. There is a limitation when you do even service. You cannot do it beyond a certain level. And the fifth and last one is, oh, this seems to be little crude and straight. It says your family will either fall away or it will take them time to adjust to the new you. I know many of us go through this. For me, both happened. Half of my family fell away. Half, no, almost 90% fell away. 10% adjusted to the new me. So that is again based on karma, prarabdha. If they are destined to be influenced by your light, that's the way. That's how it is destined to be. And they will be in you. That's the contract that you signed when you took birth in this soul group. That this is how your light is going to influence the family. And those who are done with, that is how the karma was supposed to play out with them. When you're done with that. So that also will happen. Who has to fall will fall away. And whoever has to adjust will adjust. But in either case, it doesn't matter to a seeker in awareness. Fall away, okay with it. Nothing to be happy about or rejoicing about, oh, I got something, or I got rid of something, or now life is taking care. Neutral. कोई गया neutral. कोई आया neutral. कोई change word neutral. Somebody changes according, somebody adapts, and they are changing. I have nothing to do. Okay, good. Maybe the divine will. Because the moment I say, oh, somebody has changed, then I have taken ownership. Because of me, somebody has changed. So it's complete neutral zone. So now you can see we are talking very serious towards the divine will and going with that flow. There is so much of freedom. Now I can understand why freedom comes in this, because you have nothing to do. राम हमारा हमें जपे हम पायो विश्राम कबीरा हम पायो विश्राम. Now no more chanting the Lord's name. The Lord is chanting my name and I am taking rest. Because me and the Lord is the same. It's going towards that kind of a zone. 5 minutes to 12. So I think I'm done with today's session. We have these 5 obstacles which I read in the somewhere on Instagram. And I said very beautiful, all the 5 points I discussed. But the major that I told today was about this obsession with getting perfect all the time. And then that mind, restless mind, has a lot of questions all the time. Because it's not at peace. It only shows you're not practicing awareness. Awareness means there cannot be questions. There is nothing to question so much about. Where does all these questions, doubts, and fears, and worries, and stress come? In the mind. That means it shows very clearly you're living in the mind, not in awareness. Awareness person will be very neutral to all this. This comes also okay, that comes also is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. Now I think you must be having a clear picture of it. Now try to practice this in your daily life and be affected by none. And I'm telling you, don't try to practice put these kind of teachings directly. Oh, that foolish guy told me this. Okay, so I have to put this into practice. Then you put it on a refrigerator, and these are things I did. No, that's nonsense. Keep all these things aside. This is just for our discussion. What you need to do is the simple practice of awareness, because when you are in awareness, you are not in the mind at all. And all this bullshit is in the mind. So you don't have to sit playing this game in the trash can. What I'm saying is, leave the trash can alone. Live in awareness, because there is no mind. All the time be aware of so many things. Be aware of your body, be aware of your koshas, be aware of the space around you, be aware of all the nature around you, be aware of the skies, be aware of the elemental panchamahabhutas elements. Be aware of your consciousness, be aware of somebody's consciousness who's high, maybe your guru or your angels or your ascended masters. So many beautiful things to do. Be aware of how life functions. When you're looking at a child, look at the beauty of that child, the prakriti, the consciousness of that child, how the cosmos is taking care of that child, everything that is happening in that child, how everything, the food is digesting by itself, the whole excretion is taking by itself, the breath is taking care of itself, the heartbeat is taking care of itself, all the impulses by itself, the currents running by itself. Who's running? I. So when you become more cautious of all these things, in the plants, in the trees, in the animals, you look at things with awe. This is billion times better than all that dirty contents of your mind that says this happened, that happened, this is not happening, that is not happening. All these dramas, which is all the ego consciousness, mind consciousness. So instead of living in all that and generating all these trash questions, which is of no use, you learn to simply move into awareness, live more in awareness. However, the situation, everything is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. So, with this, I take your leave. Much divine love and light to all of you. May we all evolve. May we all be free. The Upadesha Saram, I told it at 16th only. I think 16th it is, Sunday. Coming Sunday, I think 16th. 16th, I'll put up. I don't know. Tomorrow, I'll just fix up whatever comes spontaneously to me about that, and then I'll make a post and I'll send it. But time, I'll fix it from 7 to 1. This Saram on Sunday. This is IST timing. It will help both sides, Western world as well as the Eastern world. Those who are interested, I feel at least 15 are there, and that much is enough. No problem. If anybody else wants to join also, okay, fine. So with this, I take your leave. Is it possible? What is possible, Neha? What is possible, Neha? Neha, come on, answer quickly. No? Okay, maybe you're typing. Okay, I think this is very incomplete to ask such kind of question. Is it possible? And then there is no answer after that. Start a little late at 9 a.m. See, it will affect all the other parts of the world. That's my only concern. And I mean, if you want it really, see, if I can get up in the morning and sit and do it, I mean, I should be more worried, because I am taking the session, I should be like, it's too early for me. That. So, I think it will affect the other. Let me just check it out. If they are fine with it, I'm fine with it. But your excuse should not be that, oh, it's a Sunday, I get up late, I am least bothered and all that. I don't want to get into any sansaric reasons, I'm not for it. Huh? I'm telling you. Absolutely not. Okay, UK, I'm sorry, you are in the UK. Oh my god. Then I don't know. I'll just have to check out. Then just give me some time. Let me check out with the South African time and Russian time and this side, Australian time, UAE time, US time. I don't know anybody from US here. What time would it be at 6 7 a.m. in the morning IST? Yeah, let me just find out. Abhishek, is it possible on Saturday if it works with you and all others? Abhishek, all you'll have to do something because every time this is the third session I'm seeing that and there will be no recordings, guys. I am not allowing any recordings. And also the personal sessions, if anybody wants to sign up and all, we can do that, but I am not teaching anything in the personal session because there is no one-to-one teaching. I'm teaching a group always. So any sessions that I'm doing, the teaching, the practice part is always on the webinar only. But apart from that, if you have some deep clarity and doubts and all those things, or something personalized things that you cannot discuss outside or something like that, for that you can always sign up. So otherwise, no practices at least. And just let me check it out on the Sunday thing. Okay, and see, this is one reason I don't get into discussions. That's a big problem. Then everybody will have their own. Just like it's very difficult. All these programs I've just done, like what comes to my being, I just put it there, and it just happens. So, anyways, I feel that if we want it seriously, we will adhere to it. We will somehow adhere to it. But the time zone, only the UK thing, which I feel is not right. 2:30 is too much in the almost like midnight. Or then I'll have to keep the same program twice. Split it into two. Thank you, Abhishek. Let me see if I can split it into two. If anybody is not signed up here in the WhatsApp group, just send me your WhatsApp number here so that I can have this kind of discussions there, because I usually put it into that group. Group means I don't. It's not an open group. Your numbers are not revealed. It's a broadcast group. So whenever I post a message, it comes individually to everybody, or everybody's privacy is respected. I don't share anybody's number. I don't put you into unwanted those groups, and everybody is sending good morning, good evening messages and all that stuff. That is not there. Very disciplined way. So you can feel free on that, and if you want, you can put me your number, send me your number through Messenger or something, and I'll add your number, and then I'll just have a couple of discussion with the others and just see the time zone difference. That's all. How we can sort it out. If we can do it too also. Okay. Thank you for your presence here, which made me speak here today. Much divine love and light to all of you. Stay blessed.